Today on Studio G, reporter Tommy Laren tells us about how mental health correlates with deadly shootings.
Jordan Hardy attended the unveiling of the Jerry Tarkanian statue outside of the Thomas and Mack Center.
And we will have this week's edition of Trackside with Bree Bradley.
All this and more right now on Studio G. Welcome to Monday's episode of Studio G. I'm Heather Fairberger.
And I'm Farah Ninos.
Federal prosecutors have filed charges of murder and commission of violence against the man who barged into Terminal 3 at LAX International Airport and opened gunfire. Paul Ciencia pulled out an AR-15 and killed a TSA officer and injured 4 other people before being gunned down by airport police.
He targeted specifically TSA officers. His intent was very, very clear in his note. We did recover a note at the crime scene. In that note, he indicated his anger and his malice, I would say, towards the TSA officers.
The FBI is still trying to gather as much information about the shooting as possible and is asking for the public's help.
The FBI and its law enforcement partners are seeking the public's assistance in the collection of digital media pertaining to the shooting incident at Los Angeles International Airport, LAX, on November 1st, 2013. No piece of information or detail is too small.
According to the FBI, the suspect is unresponsive and has not answered questions. If found guilty, Ciencia could face the death penalty.
With so many deadly shootings that have happened recently, reporter Tommy Laren takes a look at what role mental health plays in these rampages.
Less than a week has passed since the deadly shooting at Sparks Middle School right here in Nevada. Now the nation is coming to grips with yet another shooting rampage. This one at LAX Airport over the weekend that left 1 TSA agent dead and several travelers injured. Besides the gunman, who is to blame for these senseless rampages? Last week on Studio G, UNLV students weighed in on this very timely issue. UNLV journalism student Lizette Puentes believed mental health was a key issue.
Why did the student, think this was appropriate to go and open fire in his school, and just how counselors and teachers are handling issues like this with students? How emotionally intelligent these students are, and also with the parents, how did they not notice this? I think that's what needs to be addressed before we, place more restrictions or don't place so much restrictions.
Last week, UNLV associate professor and lead investigator on the Lindsay Institute Mental Health Study discussed the gaps in mental health services.
What is missing and what is at the core of all of the problems that we see basically is a lack of an adequate mental health workforce that is available and accessible, affordable, and appropriate. It's very important that we address this issue because we believe that this is where preventive services come into play.
Beyond gun control, are mental health disorders primary factors in shooting rampages? UNLV professor and marriage and family therapist Catherine Hartland believes so.
It seems to me that because of the shootings and because of this attention toward mental health, people are starting to take it seriously and saying, well, if someone's got an issue, we need to be able to have resources in place to address it. In addition to increasing the workforce, I think you've got to reduce the stigma around seeking out mental health services.
Rampages like the one at Sandy Hook, Sparks Middle School, and now LAX Airport are puzzling. No one knows what goes through the mind of a gunman. As research continues, perhaps a stronger focus on mental health services will provide us with some insight. For Studio G, I'm Tommy Laren.
Our thoughts go out to all those communities affected by these tragic shootings.
A drug tunnel was shut down this weekend, stretching from Mexico to a San Diego warehouse. Authorities said the tunnel took about a year to build and was one of the most sophisticated underground drug smuggling passageways ever discovered. 3 people were taken into custody and federal agents seized 8 tons of marijuana and 325 pounds of cocaine.
This complex underground passageway zigzags for about 1/3 of a mile under the border at a depth of approximately 35 feet on average. The passageway is 4 feet in height, it's approximately 3 feet wide, and it's equipped with an electronic rail system, an elaborate electrical system, as well as a ventilation system.
These cartels have spent years and tens of millions of dollars in absolute vain trying to create this secret underworld of passages through which they can move large quantities of drugs. But these cartels are foolish to think that they're shoveling under the radar.
The San Diego-Tijuana area is a popular place for tunnels because of the ease of digging through the clay-like soil of the area, as well as the existence of areas on both sides of the border filled with warehouses that help hide both construction and loading and unloading activities. Authorities say that they will be cracking down on surveillance in those areas.
After the break, Bianca Valdez shows us one very special baseball league.
And we'll take a look at the unveiling of the legendary Tark the Shark's well-deserved statue. Studio G will be right back.
The World Series is over, but that doesn't mean baseball season is. Bianca Valdez has more on an extraordinary baseball league and its athletes.
The Miracle Baseball League gives an opportunity for disabled kids and adults to come out and play baseball.
It's the one sport that they can come out and play because they're usually not allowed or can't physically play with able-bodied people. Everybody should be able to play, and so we've given them that opportunity.
When the league first started, almost all of the players batted using a tee.
Now 90% of them are pitched to. So there's a great hand-eye coordination that they learn.
Each player has a buddy assigned to help him or her throughout the game.
They're called buddies, and they help the players get around the bases to bat and stuff like that.
Anton has been playing in the league for over 3 years, and this year he is playing for the Diamondbacks.
When we first got started, Anton he used to have a walker, and now he's independently walking. This is a dream for a lot of the kids.
UNLV students volunteer their time to announce each week's game.
We'll announce their names by their nicknames. We have nicknames from Slugger to Hitman to Wild Thing to Hot Mama. And I did say Hot Mama because they love when the crowd cheers for them, and they tell the crowd themselves to cheer for me, cheer for me, cheer for me.
Well, have fun and make good home runs and hope girls love me a lot.
The Miracle League has been helping players young and old for years. It gives them a great opportunity to play baseball. For Studio G, this is Bianca Valdez. Ready? There we go.
To find out more about the Miracle League, you can go to their website at miracleleaguelasvegas.com.
UNLV men's basketball is well known across the country for its excellence in the game, but there is one name that comes to mind when you think of their success.
Legendary former UNLV men's basketball coach Jerry Tarkanian was known for having an empty chair next to him on the bench, known as the ghost chair, but now fans are able to sit right next to him.
It is my honor and pleasure to officially dedicate the Jerry Tarkanian Legacy Statue on this 30th day of October 2013.
This beautiful statue is a lasting tribute, and I am very appreciative.
Just over a month ago, Tark the Shark was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame, and now the Jerry Tarkanian bronze statue was unveiled to honor a man who is one of the most successful coaches in basketball history. He led the Rebels to their one and only national title in 1990, as well as 3 other Final Four appearances. Coach Tarkanian was all smiles taking pictures, and with his declining health, his wife Lois says this is a highlight.
Well, he's very excited about it all. He said to me, who would have thought all of this? The community of Las Vegas and the university came out to embrace Coach Tarkanian in such a well-deserved honor. I'm just so happy for him and so proud to be a UNLV alumni today.
Sculptor Brian Hanlon talks about the idea for the statue.
He had this empty chair next to him every game, but then there's this endearing quality, I think, for a three-dimensional form that you're able to sit next to Coach in a chair that he never wanted you to sit in.
Current head coach Dave Rice believes the statue symbolizes more than just remembering Coach Tarkanian's impact on UNLV.
It's exciting that we can have this right here between the Thomas and Mack Center and the Mendenhall Center, and what that means in terms of past tradition and what we're trying to build here in the future.
The Jerry Tarkanian Legacy Statue is something that will be a landmark on the UNLV campus and in college basketball. For Studio G, I'm Jordan Hardy.
The statue stands between the Thomas and Mack and the Mendenhall Center, where everyone is welcome to take pictures with the Hall of Famer Coach Tarkanian. After the break, Honey Love will have your daily weather forecast.
And Jamie Seymour will have this week's national news. Don't go anywhere.
My name is James Grant.
King Louie here.
This is Jennifer.
Crystal May Maguerza.
I'm Savannah.
Zoe here.
This is your boy Miles Lowe. Christian FGY.
Kaylin Hype. And I'm Jay Luna.
My Mind's Music.
Gonzo Radio.
Combox Radio.
Join us for Happy Hour.
The Miles Lowe Midweek Show.
Ill Vibe Theory.
On KUNV.
KUNV. KUNV.
KUNV HD2. 91.5 The Rebel.
Broadcast on Revcast.com.
I think what a lot of people don't realize, we provide 1,300 hot meals a day through 3 of our kitchens. We have about 650 people sleeping in beds provided by the Salvation Army every night. We have 127,000 of people that we touch every year. It's huge, and people have no idea that we do more than have thrift stores and ring bells at Christmas.
Good afternoon, Las Vegas. Today it's a nice 62 degrees, but you'll notice that there's a little bit of clouds outside. However, 6 miles an hour of wind, so not too bad. Tonight it'll get low down to 53 degrees, so a little bit chilly. You might want to put on a jacket when you go outside tonight. Taking a look at the weather in other parts. 62 degrees in San Francisco, 47 in Reno, and 54 in Arcata. Also now, I want to make sure I let you guys know this. There is an urgent red flag warning for Los Angeles and Ventura counties due to gusty winds and low relative humidity. The fire advisory will go into effect at 10 p.m. this evening until 6 p.m. on Tuesday. Taking a look at weather in other parts, get your skis out and get ready to hit those slopes, because in Denver there is snowfall at 39 degrees. In the Midwest there's a lot of rain going on over here. 59 degrees in Kansas, but down here in Miami it's still bikini weather, 84 degrees. On to the extended forecast, you'll notice that it's starting to get a little bit colder in the daytime as well as the nighttime, but typical of Las Vegas weather. Back on the weekends, it'll hit the 70s again. That's all the weather I have for you today. I'm going to send it to Jamie. Hi, Jamie.
Welcome back to this week's segment of National News, where I bring you the latest headlines from across the nation. Could Colorado possibly become 2 states? Tomorrow, voters in 11 northern Colorado counties will decide if they want to move forward with a plan to break away from the state headed by their commissioners. This comes after a group called Club 20 says they feel they've been ignored by the Denver-centric state legislature. An alternative to give rural more representation would be a configuration of the legislature allowing representatives to be elected by county instead of population. A New York college student was in a bit of a jam after getting stuck in between 2 buildings for a few days. 19-year-old Asher Vongtao was found wedged in a 2-foot space between a New York University dorm and a parking garage Sunday evening after being trapped for nearly 2 days. Police say Vongtao was conscious and taken to a local hospital in stable condition after rescue crews took an hour and a half to get him out. However, how he became stuck in the crevice remains a mystery. This weekend, participants in the New York City Marathon came out in full force for the annual race. More than 50,000 runners pounded the pavement in the 5 boroughs of New York after last year's race was canceled due to Hurricane Sandy. Among the runners was the millionth person to start the race in its 43-year history. In light of the Boston Marathon bombing, 47 bomb-sniffing dogs were on patrol and 1,500 surveillance cameras were trained on the route. The winner was Jeffrey Mutai from Kenya, who had also won the 2011 race.
I wanted to come to New York. First, I want to honor the victims of the Boston Marathon and the survivors. And secondly, last year I came here to run the race and Superstorm Sandy canceled the race, so I want to come back here and finish the business.
That's all the national news I have for you. Now back to the studio for this week's edition of Trackside with Bree Bradley.
Good afternoon, race fans, and thanks for tuning into this week's segment of Trackside. As always, I'm Bree Bradley. This week is all about big moves, tragic crashes, and consistent finishes, leading racers into the final races of the 2013 season. This weekend, Las Vegas native TJ Flores dominated the John Calvin Memorial Snore 250. He finished first overall in the number 80 McMurrow Racing Trophy Truck out of Champion Raceworks. While TJ isn't a contender for the 2013 over points championship, he put on a great show for fans and racers alike. Cody Freeman in his single-seat Class 10 battled up front with Class 1 teams all day, finishing first in his class. Cody's finish helps him continue to battle for the overall points lead with Justin Bean Smith in Class 1600 and second, Class 11 driver Michael Brenner in third. Moving from dirt to asphalt, NASCAR fans were on the edge of their seats this weekend during the 8th chase race of the season at Texas Motor Speedway. Going into the race, Jeff Gordon had made the biggest move during the chase into third place after his win at Martinsville. However, on lap 74, Gordon's chase hopes took a major hit when a left front tire sent him crashing into the outside wall. Gordon then dropped to 42nd place and returned to the racetrack with 75 laps remaining, but is now considered to be out of the running. On lap 175, leader Matt Kenseth incurred a pass-through penalty after speeding on pit road and dropped to 16th place and 9 points behind Johnson. Then on lap 243, during green flag stops, there was a little mix-up in Johnson's pit, which allowed Kenseth to make up some points and take up on him. At the end of the day, it was Johnson who finished on top in front of Dale Earnhardt Jr., Joey Logano, and Matt Kenseth. This left the point standing at Johnson leading Kenseth by 7 points going into the final 2 races of the year at Phoenix and Homestead. And finally, for all of you die-hard off-road fans out there, the Baja 1000 is finally coming. The 46 Tecate Score Baja 1000 is set for November 14th through 17th. Some teams have been pre-running for a couple of weeks now, while others have been getting ready for a year. Some changes have been made to this year's events, including the start time for motorcycles and ATVs. Bikes will start the night before the cars and trucks on Thursday, November 14th at 11 p.m. Some teams have expressed their concerns for this starting change, saying the first 40 miles could be extremely dangerous for bikes at night since there's always full of booby traps and flood washing. SCORE International officials say for every safety aspect has been studied and the risks are currently being mitigated. Well, that's going to do it for this week's news in the industry of speed. When we get back, Alexis Mers will sit down with a student you won't believe attends UNLV. Don't go anywhere.
This is your house, too. Located on the campus of UNLV on Brussels Street sits Housel House, the Center for Social Justice. A place where everyone can participate, explore cultural identity, share different experiences, and learn leadership skills. No judgments. You are accepted, you are important, and you are welcomed.
Stand up, speak out, and change the world.
You drinking tonight?
Nah, not tonight.
Well, give me a couple beers. You want some?
No, stop.
Come on, just take a drink.
No.
It's just a drink.
I have to drive us home.
Yeah,
Can you even walk in a straight line?
Yes, want me to show you?
Oh, yeah, you're good.
Man, what are you talking about? I got this.
Just give me the keys, please.
I ain't drunk though.
Welcome back from the break.
We're joined by Keandre Blackston. Thank you for joining us.
No problem.
All right, so you're obviously beyond your years. You're 14 years old, and you are probably one of the youngest students to ever attend UNLV. How is that going for you?
So far so good. Some people like don't know I'm 14, you know, but it doesn't like really impact like my social life. So.
And how did you get here? Obviously, you didn't just wake up and decide to attend UNLV. What was the process for you to get here so young?
Oh, I was homeschooled for like 2 years, and basically I did like 5 grades in 2 years.
5
so,
grades?
Yeah, and then advanced faster. So.
How intensive was that?
It was pretty difficult, but after like a while, you know, I got used to it, and it got boring, but like it was pretty cool.
So you homeschooled, and how did you enjoy that? Did you like it?
No, I didn't. Well, the first half I did, but eventually I didn't know like anybody else my age besides the people that I knew before, and I just wanted to go back to public school, but I eventually did.
So you ended up talking your mom into letting you go back to public school. Yeah. You went for your junior year?
Senior year.
Senior year. What school did you end up graduating from?
Sunrise Mountain. So yeah, it was cool, but yeah.
So that's actually probably one of the worst schools in Nevada. Did you know that going into it?
I didn't. I thought it looked like a good school.
It looks nice.
Yeah, and I was zoned for it, so I just like went there. But.
And what was that experience like? Were you thankful that you actually got to be around people?
Yeah, mostly that was just like the point. Like I could have graduated, but I wanted to like, you know, get one more year in with like kids or a little older than me, but like, you know, just have that feeling again. So.
And while being at Sunrise, did you have the opportunity to, you know, participate in the school dances? Did you do sports? Did you have that high school life, or?
I didn't go to any dances because I don't like to dance, but like I was in theater, and I did a play, West Side Story. I was pretty involved, but I didn't dance at all. And, yeah, and like I played basketball for fun and stuff like that.
So you got to be like a normal kid.
Yeah.
So now that you're at the university level, are you finding it hard to fit in?
Oh no. It's just like last year. You know, people a little older than me, but. You know, if you like hang around me, you kind of forget that I'm 14. So, yeah, it's cool.
So you just become just a regular person. Nope, your age pretty much doesn't matter anymore.
Nah. Yeah, like if you ask any of my friends that I hang with that are like 20 or older, they kind of like gradually like just forget that I'm 14, and then like you probably remind them like.
That's interesting. So, what has been the best part about being at UNLV? How has that transition been?
I don't know. So far it kind of feels like just going to like the 13th grade or something. But it hasn't hit me yet like, oh, I'm in college yet, but it probably will eventually. I don't know when.
So it pretty much started young for you. You learned how to tie your shoes when you were only 2 years old, when most of us are being potty trained. So did you know at a young age that you were just going to be this smart kid?
I mean, I felt like it. I guess my mom knew more than I did. You know, I was just being myself, but I think my mom saw it, so.
Was it more of just a natural thing, you just went with the flow?
Yeah, she'll teach me and I'll catch it, and then I'll go to school and I'll know everything already, so.
Now your mother actually did not graduate from high school.
No.
So are you wanting to just go above and beyond that, or did that have some type of?
It wasn't my mom that, you know, like, oh, she didn't graduate, I need to graduate. Like, I already wanted to just like, to accomplish as many goals as possible, like, period, like. I don't know, I don't want to say it helped, you know, but knowing that she didn't graduate, you know, kind of pushed me more, so I guess.
Now you're just, you know, a typical young kid, and you don't want to go the typical route of being a doctor or a lawyer. You want to get into acting.
Yeah, I do, or music. I don't want to say it's boring to be like a doctor or a lawyer. In high school, I think, like, I wanted to be down with learning, like, that kind of stuff, like, you know, I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and I'm always into just being like on the stage or, you know, entertaining people. So I'm pretty like excited. I'm not like a boring kid or anything.
Well, it's definitely awesome getting to know you. If you guys want to catch him around campus, I'm sure you'll be able to find him. We'll be right back with more Studio G after the break.
Becca promotes
personal and professional development through competitive events, community involvement, and leadership development.
I joined DECA because I wanted to get out of my comfort zone. So I got to meet people, network, and definitely work on my public speaking.
To join DECA, it's a very simple process. You have to pay a $25 membership fee. You can either come to our next meeting, our website, which is unlvdeca.co.vu.
We're open to all majors who are interested in business, finance, or hospitality-related fields.
My name is James Grant.
King Louie here.
This is Jennifer.
Crystal May McGuerza.
I'm Savannah.
Zoe here.
This is your boy Miles Lowe. Christian FGY.
Kaylin Hype.
And I'm Jay Luna.
My Mind's Music.
Gonzo Radio.
Combox Radio.
Join us for Happy Hour.
The Miles Lowe Midweek Show.
Ill Vibe Theory.
On KUNV.
KUNV. KUNV.
KUNV HD2. 91.5 The Rebel.
Broadcast on revcast.com.
After waiting several years, residents in North Las Vegas now have a new park to go to. Reporter Ashley Schaefer has more.
Regional Park, sitting at 170 acres, just opened in North Las Vegas.
This park has different amenities. It has a pond, it has community gardens, it has a basketball court, it has a state-of-the-art skate park, one of the best in the nation. We have 3 different playgrounds. We have 9 different tents or shelters that you can reserve. We also have a Little League baseball diamond as well. It's #1 in the state of Nevada.
Many families in North Las Vegas have been waiting for this park to open for years.
This is the first time we've been here, and we've been waiting anxiously for several years for it to come to fruition, so it's amazing.
Families are excited to bring their kids to Craig Ranch Regional Park.
I am really impressed. It's beautiful. There's so many things to do here. I'm really excited because of all the things they've got set up for the kids. The skate park, everything looks amazing here.
And what's your favorite part about the park?
Yeah.
Everything?
It's huge. It has more things. It's like the best park in Nevada and in North Las Vegas as well.
This park is one of a kind in North Las Vegas. For Studio G, I'm Ashley Schaefer.
Craig Ranch Regional Park, visit cityofnorthvegas.com.
Well, that does it for today's Studio G. I'm Heather Fairberger.
And I'm Farron Enos. Tune in tomorrow for more Studio G. From all of us here at Studio G, have a great day, Las Vegas.
All right.